Chapter 11. Old Friends. New Answers. The party made their way back through the canyon's rugged embrace, the air heavy with the mingled scents of dust, sweat, and hard-won triumph. The promise of rest and warmth once they reached camp tempered the lingering fatigue in their limbs. Lawrence's voice soon cut through the quiet, swelling with self-satisfaction. All told, I must have taken down more than 20 Gemron today, he proclaimed loudly. Clive, ever precise, glanced up with a faint smirk. Closer to 13, actually, he corrected, his tone dry and deliberately measured. Lawrence scowled, bristling at the interruption. Clive's insistence on accuracy had always grated on him, though even Lawrence could not deny its usefulness. It was that carefree disregard for detail, irritating as it could be, that made Clive indispensable as the family's treasurer. In matters of wealth and power, precision was not pedantry. It was survival. Arnold walked a little behind them, his thoughts far quieter. He was grateful for the Queen's generosity in granting him full credit for the dragon's slaying, a deed that now paints him as the saviour of royalty. Yet the praise sat uneasily upon him. He was aware that Monica had taken the brunt of the battle, confronting the beast directly when death was at its most imminent. Adding to that unease was the memory of her calling him Max. Though the moment had stung, Arnold understood what lay beneath it. He saw the grief still haunting her, the sorrow she carried with quiet dignity. That understanding dulled the bruise to his pride and replaced it with empathy. Monica was still walking through the long shadows of loss, and no crown could shield her from that. As they neared the campsite, the moon crystal's glow began to pierce the gathering darkness. Its ethereal light illuminated the distant silhouette of Starlight Temple, standing timeless against the night sky. Monica slowed, her gaze drawn inexorably towards it. Thoughts of Max resurfaced, of unanswered questions, of a life ended far too soon. She turned to the group. "Hold a moment," she said calmly. "My maid and I need to stop by Starlight Temple to gather additional provisions for the camp." Lady Medici frowned slightly. "Your Majesty, would it not be wiser to take one of my sons with you for protection?" Monica offered her a polite but firm smile. "Your concern is appreciated, Lady Medici, but it won't be necessary. My handmaiden will accompany me." She turned towards the temple, her voice gentle but decisive. "This way, Lisa. I'll need your help." Lisa bowed at once. "Of course, my queen," she replied, falling into step beside her. Together, they turned away from the others and headed towards the temple, their figures gradually swallowed by the moonlit path. As Monica descended the steps onto the southern platform of Starlight Temple, a tide of nostalgia washed over her. Memories surfaced unbidden, of working alongside Max to restore the temple, of shared determination and quiet laughter beneath these very stars. This place had been pivotal to their journey. The sage who resided here had guided them through moments of uncertainty and revelation alike. And now, standing once more within its glow, Monica felt the past press close, reminding her that some answers might yet linger within these ancient walls. The temple stood exactly as Monica remembered it, an intimate sanctuary carved into the mountainside. Starlight Temple was a marvel of quiet ingenuity. 4 stone platforms emerged from the rock face, each cradling a structure hewn directly from the living mountain itself. At the temple's heart, A series of circular platforms floated in serene suspension, linked by slender bridges that spanned the open air below, giving the space an almost dreamlike quality. At the centre of it all rested the moon crystal. Its pale silvery glow filled the chamber with a hushed reverence. The crystal's power remained as mysterious as ever, an ancient force capable of revealing truths long buried, answers sought not by reason alone, but by the yearning of the heart. It was said that the crystal did not simply respond to questions, but to intention. Monica's thoughts drifted back to the time she and Max had stood here together, desperate and determined, calling upon the moon crystal in their search for Emperor Griffin. She could almost hear his voice beside her, feel the shared tension as the crystal's light had deepened. It was through its luminous depths that they had uncovered the staggering truth. Their enemy did not exist in the present at all, but 10,000 years deep within the annals of history. An adversary rooted in an age so distant, it reshaped everything they thought they understood. Standing there once more, beneath the crystal's glow, Monica felt the past press close around her and wondered whether it still held answers she had yet to ask. Monica and Lisa approached the inner sanctum of the temple, where the fabled moon crystal rested in solemn silence. Before continuing, Monica turned to her handmaiden, her expression calm yet resolute. "Wait here, Lisa. I won't be long." Lisa inclined her head respectfully, remaining near the ascending ramp that led towards the crystal. "As you wish, my queen," she replied. As Monica climbed towards the moon crystal, she was gradually enveloped in its mesmerizing azure glow. The light bathed her in a cool, otherworldly radiance, stirring memories and emotions she had long kept buried. Her heart weighed heavy with unanswered questions and fragile hope as she reached out, her fingers drawing closer to the crystal's cool surface. Before she could touch it, a voice, familiar, calm, and wholly unexpected, stilled her hand. "I'm afraid you won't find what you're looking for by doing that, Your Majesty." Monica turned sharply, her eyes meeting those of Crest, the great sage, who stood accompanied by several moon people cloaked in their traditional hoods. Recognition softened her expression. "It's good to see you again, Lynn," she said warmly. A polite cough followed. Monica faltered, then corrected herself at once. "I'm sorry, Crest, the great sage." A faint flush of embarrassment touched her cheeks. Crest smiled, a gentle chuckle easing the formality between them. "There's no need for titles here, Monica. I know exactly why you've come." "You know I'm seeking the truth about Max," Monica said quietly, hope and apprehension flickering in her eyes. "I do," Crest replied, her gaze filled with wisdom and compassion. "You know that his life ended, yet the circumstances remain hidden from you. I sense your fear, child, that you may bear guilt for a fate that was never yours to shape." Monica's voice trembled despite her composure. "That is what haunts me most. The thought that my return might have set events in motion, that something may have happened to him while I was gone, unable to help. I don't know if I can live with the uncertainty any longer. I need to know the truth, no matter how painful." Crest's expression darkened with solemn understanding. "Then prepare yourself," she said, her voice carrying a weight that silenced the air around them. With a graceful gesture, she beckoned to the moon people, who stepped forward and encircled the moon crystal. Their movements were precise and ritualistic, and as they took their places, the atmosphere itself seemed to hum with anticipation. "But heed this warning, Monica," Crest continued. "The truth is a double-edged blade. It can heal, or it can wound beyond repair." Monica did not waver. "I am ready," she said, her voice steady and resolute. "I've come too far to turn away now. Illuminate the past, Crest, great sage." Crest raised her hands towards the moon crystal, her fingers tracing intricate sigils through the air. Magic flowed from her palms like a living current, threading itself into the crystal's radiant core. Its glow intensified, pulsing softly as a vision began to form. Hazy at first, indistinct shapes drifting within its depths, before gradually sharpening into focus. Monica leaned forward, her breath held. A vast, dimly lit mine stretched out before her, its tunnels carved deep into the earth. "Where is this place?" Monica asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "This," Crest replied solemnly, "is the Zelmite mine. It was sealed off from Palm Brinks many years ago. The ore found here, Zelmite, is far more powerful than coal. It possesses the ability to make the impossible possible." Within the glowing vision, a lone figure moved through the cavern. Monica's heart lurched. "I see him. Max." Her voice trembled. "Why was he there? Why did he go into the mines?" Crest's tone darkened. The mayor of Palm Brinks sought to expand the railway network beyond anything the town had known. To do so, he sent Max to retrieve Zelmite, believing its energy would fuel unprecedented industrial progress. She paused. What the mayor failed to consider was the danger. The mines were home to some of the most lethal monsters of that era. The vision shifted. Monica watched in horror as Max battled his way through the depths, one monstrous foe after another. Each fight left its mark upon him. His movements grew slower, his expression more strained, and exhaustion was etched deeply into his features, yet still he pressed on. Each victory came at a cost, but he refused to turn back. Monica's chest tightened. She knew instinctively that the path unfolding before her led somewhere dreadful. Then the crystal revealed the moment she feared most. Max stood face to face with Flotsam once more, but this was no longer the clown she remembered. Flotsam was now a grotesque fusion of flesh and machine. 3/4 of his face remained grotesquely human, while the rest was cold, artificial metal. One glass eye gleamed with advanced technology, tracking Max's every movement. His torso had been rebuilt from Zelmite alloy, thick and reinforced. One arm ended in a vicious drill, the other in a circular mechanical grip. His legs were fully robotic, and twin Nova jets mounted along his lower back allowed him to hover and fly with terrifying agility. The battle was brutal. Flotsam revelled in his newfound power, savouring every moment as he battered Max with ruthless efficiency. Each blow sent Max crashing into stone, yet he refused to surrender. Drawing upon sheer will and tactical instinct, Max turned the tide at the last moment, slamming his ride pod directly into Flotsam. The impact was catastrophic. Flotsam's body was torn apart by the explosion, his mechanical form left sparking and broken. But Max did not escape unscathed. As he leapt from the ride pod moments before it detonated, his foot shattered upon landing, leaving him crippled and vulnerable. Still, Max smiled. Leaning heavily against the cavern wall, he smirked at his fallen foe. Even with all your fancy upgrades, he taunted weakly, you still lost. In the end, Flotsam, you're nothing more than a pathetic clown. The words proved fatal. Flotsam's remaining eye flared with murderous fury. I may be a clown, you little brat, he snarled, his voice warped and distorted, but I always get the last laugh. With a sudden, violent motion, Flotsam raised his drill and fired. The weapon tore through Max's body, pinning him brutally against the stone wall. His strength failed instantly. Blood spilt onto the cold rock as his life drained away. Barely conscious, Max drew one final breath. Monica. The name left his lips like a prayer. As Max's body went still, Flotsam released a manic, triumphant laugh, high, shrill, and utterly unhinged. Moments later, the clown's damaged systems finally gave out. Sparks erupted from his shattered form as he collapsed, lifeless at last. The vision shifted once more. Within the moon crystal, Max's body lay still, now reduced to a century-old skeleton, clothed in the tattered remnants of what he had worn that day. Time had claimed what battle had begun, leaving behind only silent proof of a life cut brutally short. Crest's voice broke the heavy silence. After his death, the mayor attempted to conceal his actions, but the truth eventually surfaced, and he was forced to resign in disgrace. Her tone softened. Soon after, Max's father withdrew into his mansion, shutting himself away from the world entirely. With the town's innocence shattered by Max's fate, Palm Brinks slowly began to empty. Its people left in search of a new home, unable to remain where such tragedy had stained the land. The vision faded. Monica collapsed to her knees, the truth finally laid bare. No, she whispered, her voice breaking. I could have saved him. I should have been there. This is my fault. He's gone because of me. Crest moved to her side at once, her presence steady and grounding. I am sorry, Monica, she said gently. I never wished to cause you such pain. But know this, there is still hope. The story does not have to end this way. Monica looked up, forcing herself to meet Crest's gaze, masking her grief behind fragile composure. How? She asked. What can I do? Time travel is forbidden now because of Griffin, unless you have a way. And I do, Your Majesty, Crest replied calmly. At her gesture, one of the moon people stepped forward, carrying a small, ornate chest. With trembling hands, Monica opened it, her breath caught in her throat. Inside rested an hourglass, its glass shimmering with an otherworldly glow. A star glass, Monica whispered in disbelief. But I thought they were all destroyed when the ban was enforced. They were, Crest confirmed. All except one. I ensured that a single star glass was preserved should an emergency ever arise. Monica hesitated, fear and responsibility warring within her. Are you certain you wish to entrust this to me? If the nobility discovers this, they could make your life unbearable. Crest let out a quiet scoff, her eyes sharp with defiance. At my age, I care little for the opinions of toffee-nosed snobs, she said bluntly. If breaking the law is necessary to help a friend and repay a debt, their selfish interests mean nothing to me. Monica blinked. Repay a debt? A faint smile touched Crest's lips. Once, you used a star glass to help me. Now it is my turn to help you." Her gaze softened. "Go, Monica, save your friend, and reclaim the freedom you once had. I know you were happier then." Resolve surged through Monica. Rising to her feet, she clutched the starglass tightly to her chest. "Thank you," she said quietly, emotion thick in her voice. Turning to leave, she motioned for Lisa. "When we return to camp, send word to Elena. Ask her to come to the castle. I need to speak with her, privately." Lisa bowed at once. "As you wish, my queen." As Monica stepped away, Crest called after her one final time. "Be warned, Your Majesty, without your Atlamilia, navigating the flow of time will be far more difficult. You will need every ounce of strength you possess if you hope to save Max. Only the strong ones can stand the test of time." Monica did not turn back. The starglass pulsed softly against her chest as she walked onwards, carrying not only the weight of a kingdom, but also the fragile hope of rewriting a fate that had never deserved to be written at all.